What is going on, guys? So we are here for week 3 from the beginning MX5 recap. So far it's been going pretty well, so I hope you guys have been getting some stuff out of this. This week we were obviously at the Charlotte Roval. Um, pretty crazy circuit. We unfortunately only got time for 2 races again this week. We nearly had a third. But some last minute things came up, so unfortunately we weren't able to make that third race for the week. But that's fine. We had a solid gain. I think we had a P2 in race 1 and a P1 in race 2. We'll go through some stuff from race 1. I made a pretty big mistake, actually, to be honest with you, so I wanted to show you guys what I actually did wrong and how to sort of combat that, but also the fact that I didn't take the car in the pits. I managed to drive around the problem with the damage to still secure a decent result instead of pitting and falling back through the field and then having to try and pass everybody with only 10 laps in a race. So it was more of a race management situation than anything else, but it helps to teach you some stuff that you guys might not usually think of. So we'll go through that, and then race 2 had a fantastic battle with a guy called Michael, so looking forward to showing you bits of that, how we sort of played the game to and back with him. So let's get into week 3 of From the Beginning.
Such a nice thing to say.
That didn't work well. Use too much curb. So as we turn in, locks the curb, it lifts the wheels up, and we grab the fence. So it's a shame, broke the car. We're just going to have to deal with this as best we can. If I pit, it's just going to cost me too much time. So we're just going to have to struggle through with, I reckon we're probably about 10 degrees left hand down, right hand down at the moment. Now with the damage we were sort of controlling, it made it very hard to predict where I was placing the car. So as you see, we actually grabbed the grass and make an absolute meal of the last chicane. That could have been so much worse. Now I've lost 2 seconds, the car's behind. And just managed the race. So unfortunately things didn't go our way. We probably should have been right there with Nicholas at the front. But instead of panicking and pitting and causing problems, we've driven around the problem that we've had, and we've managed to finish still at this point looking like a P2, which is a massive recovery from what could have been us in the pits and half a lap down and having to chase everyone. So yes, we would have had a quicker car, but sometimes you got to weigh up the situation that you're in at the time and understand what is better for the situation. So I knew that if I was to pit, I would have been way further behind, and while I would have been able to do probably 32s, I don't think that 2 seconds a lap would have made up the deficit of not being on the podium, and it definitely wouldn't have won the race if I had to pit. So by doing it this way, at least this way, I've managed to score a decent amount of points, keep myself in the fight for another race this week, and just not fallen down the order and lost iRating and stuff like that. So it's all about damage limitation. Sometimes it's like, what's the best form of result without costing yourself? Alright guys, so this is week 3, race 1 results. We ended up in the second split now, so our iRating's starting to get to that level where we're sort of mid-second split, seems to be roughly. I mean, we were car 7 in this one, so it was a pretty solid race for us. Had a fantastic battle with Nicholas earlier, as you saw. Obviously, me making that contact with the wall probably cost me a little tiny bit having to sort of manage the car with the damage. So, but to still come away with a second place, only 6/10 off the race pace, was pretty good. Nice little score of championship points for the week, so 88 so far for race 1. So let's see if we can sort of build on that as we go into race 2 at least. I'm hoping to get 3 done this week, but so looking forward to trying and squeezing that extra race in this week. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. So we were car 7, we finished second, so we got a nice little bump of iRating again. So that's now taken us to 1688. So we're definitely getting closer to that 2000 mark. That was the goal, is to be at 2000 by week 6. And we're week 3, and we're just sort of cresting nearly 1700. So if we can have a solid couple of weeks, we might actually crack that 2000 by week 6 like we sort of planned. So that's a good start. Safety ratings, nice little bump there as well. So 3.49. So really happy with that. So, alright, guys. So now we're going to go into race 2 for the week. This one was a little bit more interesting. So looking forward to showing you what happened here, especially off the start with Logan into turn 3. So as we come through turn 1, you can see I get a pretty decent run on him. We enter down into the bowl. I start to sort of show the nose a little bit to pressure him. He drives in too deep, and you can see he's already out of control from this point. Then he overcorrects the car and spins directly into the outside wall straight in front of us. So we had to check up not to hit him, but that's really unfortunate. But that's just the power of placing the car in a certain position. You can sort of intimidate people into maybe driving deeper into the corner and being offline, and that's how you pressure them into a mistake quite easily. Alright, so as I come out of this corner, I get a not great run, and then down the back straight he actually gets around the outside of me. I brake early to sacrifice and not push the limit. He makes a bit of a mistake mid-corner and sort of props the car in the middle of the corner. Good pass from him. I got off out of the throttle so I didn't wreck him. So right, now we can work on getting him with 6 to go. You just saw I could tell he was leaning on the car or trying to make pace. He's very loose into the corners, so I think he automatically felt the pressure of being in front. Our tyres are just starting to come good now. I think he's going to overuse his the way he's driving. There's the first contact with the wall. So he's already pushing hard. But as you can see, just by sitting behind him and moving around a little bit in his mirrors, it forced him into 2 little mistakes quite early. Now, that first contact with the inside wall just before we get onto the oval part, I think really actually affected his car. And the second one was it probably helped him a little bit to straighten the car up a little bit, but it definitely was a forced error from putting the pressure on. Alright, guys, so now this is week 2's race results. As you can tell, was a very good race for us. We had a fantastic battle with Michael sort of mid-race, and then was able to sort of pressure him into a little mistake where he turned in slightly too early, and then he wasn't really able to get a run back past us from that point onwards. So pretty happy with that. Obviously, also unfortunate to Logan at the start of the race with his little mistake as well. So that definitely cost him some good sort of iRating and race results. So we will go through it quickly. So yet again, we're in split 2. So we're definitely in that mid split 2 pack now. We're sort of 6 for the car number. So I think there was 13 cars in this race. So no, 12. There you go. So we're actually mid-pack for split 2, which is quite good. Gained another 90 iRating, so that's bumped us really close. So that 2,000 goal by week 6 is definitely looking very promising now. So very happy with that. Only a little bit of safety, which is strange because we didn't have any incidents. I did get a off track in the first qualifying lap, so maybe that had a little bit of an effect on it. We led 9 out of the 10 laps, so yeah, it went pretty well. So pretty happy with that. So average pace was good. Um, Only a couple of tenths faster than Michael. Lap pace 2 tenths faster as well. So yeah, so pretty happy with the overall result for race 2 this week as well. So alright guys, so now we're going to look at the championship standings after week three's racing. So currently we're looking at all the divisions and we are 99th in the world out of 15,179 drivers that have entered a MX5 race, whether it's 1 week or 3 weeks. This shows you the total number of drivers that have driven the MX5 series and done a official race for the course of the season so far. So I'm pretty happy to be in that top 100 drivers. Overall out of every division. And then when we actually go into our division, so we're rookie for the first season, there's been 5,995 rookies enter the MX5 Championship, and we are currently P3. So we've made a massive jump from week 2 to week 3, which is really good. We are currently 10 points off of second place and another 18 points behind first. So that's not too bad at the moment. So yeah, it's like 28 points off the lead. But when you actually look at the starts and stats, so P1, providing that he's done them in no more than 4 races, he's under his start count, which is good. He's had 1 win and 5 top 5s. P2, I think, will get penalised severely as we get to drop weeks. He's already had 32 starts, so on that average, he's doing about 10 race starts a week. So once we actually get to drop weeks, that should start to really average out his point score, and you'll start to see him drop. Pretty cool to only have 5 incidents for myself across the 3 race weeks so far, where everybody around me seems to have 60 and the guy in second's had 173. Yes, it's a lot of race starts, but so you take an average of 173 divided by 32, that works out roughly what his incident count is per race. So, so pretty happy with that so far. So we're making good progress. So P3 in the championship now, only a couple of points in front of fourth, and only a few more points in front of fifth. So the goal is to finish on the podium at the end of the season. So we'll see how we continue to track next week for week 4. Right, guys, so that is week three's from the beginning recap. Hope you guys got something out of that. It's yeah, it was quite a good week. But looking forward to stepping into next week. So next week we head to WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca for week 4 of the championship. So obviously we're getting quite close to having the 2000 I rating that we sort of the goal was set for mid-season. And I think off the top of my head, we're about 218 away or something like that. So if we have a couple of good races this week or the next week, hopefully that should get us pretty close. So looking forward to getting into that one. Just remember that the track guide for that will be up on Wednesday evening at around 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we'll get stuck in there. And other than that, guys, I hope you had a good week racing. I really appreciate everybody that supports the channel. See you next time.